The banks and lenders who want to help you go, go, go. But hurry, this offer ends when we help 67 people speed into the new year in a nicer, newer car.
I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Looking to put your money to work? Florida Credit Union has 3 CD specials: 12 months for 1.05% APY, 24 months for 1.50% APY, and 36 months for 1.75% APY each with a $10,000 minimum. Federally insured by the NCUA. APY equals annual percentage yield. These rates effective through February 28, 2016, subject to change at any time. Visit one of Florida Credit Union's convenient locations today or their website at flcu.org.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Common wisdom suggests we all want partners who are healthy and in shape, but less than 1 out of 10 men and women said they'd actually dump somebody who was too athletic, likely because the perfect physique could signal a vanity problem. Like when you see a friend laughing or crying and you start to laugh or cry too. And now it's been proven dogs have emotional contagion too. Just the sight of devices like Nest Cam and Piper are often enough to scare off crooks who don't want to be caught on camera.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
WWWWOCA, WWWWOCA.
If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA, The Source.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
Welcome back. While we get ready to have headlines and get set up for our roundtable, and our guest Cecil Hurt will have to get back another day. He's from Tuscaloosa News. And he's obviously tied up on maybe Nick Saban's leaving. Maybe Nick Saban's going to as a breaking. I'm just making this up, TJ.
USC.
Yeah. South Carolina, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nick Saban to South Carolina.
USC, huh? Tom James joins the fray, and we're going to tee it up here in a minute. And let me get you guys focused real. Go ahead, Tom.
Because Tom James is here and because this happened this morning, can we go ahead and give our road to the Coach Golf Championship update?
Go ahead and give us an update on the terrific thing this morning. Get that in.
This is the road
we'll
to the
skip the headlines for today. Go ahead.
Road to the Coach Golf Championship brought to you by Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club and the fine folks at Tri-Eagle Sales, your local distributor of Michelob Ultra, the official beverage of the LPGA Coach Golf Classic. Tom James and myself today in attendance. I on the media side. Tom James on the Chamber of Economic Partnership side. Both had breakfast, and then we joined each other in a room full of people, Tom, for Media Day, and it was amazing the turnout and the excitement that was in the room about the Coach Golf Championship.
Well, I don't know how they could have done it any better. I mean, this was
Golden Ocala did a great job.
Joe Donnelly and Golden Ocala always do an incredible job with everything they do, and the Coats. Obviously, they had their defending champion there today. LPGA representatives were there. Of course, we had our CEP Exceptional Mornings Breakfast in conjunction with the whole thing, and it was absolutely phenomenal. We had a room packed with nearly 300 people. So, I mean, this tournament and the turnout we had last year, if we have anything close to that this year, it's just going to be another absolute home run.
I asked Joe Donnelly, Molly Coates, and Kelly McNally. Kelly McNally's the tournament director. Molly Coates, of course, is the president of Coates Golf. And Joe Donnelly's the GM. I asked them all three separately, was this a more stressful planning, a less stressful planning, or a different stress planning for this coach because they had a year? All three said less. We know what to expect this time. We didn't know what we were going into truly last year and the way we had to turn out. So they're really the excitement in that room and the excitement of the LPGA Tour to be here in Ocala was fantastic this morning. Can't wait. We're going to start giving tickets away next Monday to the Coach Golf Championship. We'll be giving 2 sets away a day, 2 tickets away a day to the Coach Golf Championship. Start that next week. So really a great time today, Tom, for the Coach Golf Championship and the Golden Ocala and Arnell, the presenting sponsor, Arnell Carrier. So that's your Road to the Coach Golf Championship update brought to you by Tri-Eagle Sales, your local distributor of Mick Ultra, the official beverage of the Coach Golf Championship, and Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. And I want to just get right to this real quick. In the second half, we'll talk a little about this more. Big games this weekend, of course, and the matchups in both conferences. Going to be great football to watch. And today I caught up with the voice of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Frank Frangie, and we talked about last week and what to expect this weekend. And this is what Frank Frangie had to say.
Time now for my friend Frank Frangie, the voice of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and, of course, host of the show at 1010XL, very popular show there. And now as we lapse into, I shouldn't say lapse because these playoff games have been incredible. As we launch into the postseason, the conference championships, the level of football being played right now, Frank Frangie, is just amazing, and the passion is almost at the level of college these days. I'm loving it. How about you?
Me too. You know, I've always been a college guy. Even in getting the gig here in Jacksonville changed that a little bit because I follow the NFL closer than I ever have. But, man, it's been great. The last weekend was absolutely fantastic. So I'm with you. I thought it was as good and compelling a weekend of football as I can remember.
Frank, there's so many things to talk about last weekend and, of course, some great matchups this weekend. But before we get into that, kind of update us on where everything stands. Gus Bradley retrained again by the Jaguars. Blake Bortles, a developing quarterback. The defense has got its moments, and people looking forward to a time they could turn the corner. What's the progress right now on the Jaguars?
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked. They did the right thing, buddy, by keeping Gus Bradley. They need to see this thing through. They really blew up this team when he and Dave Caldwell got here. He didn't have a fighting chance those first 2 or 3 years. Last year, they probably should have won a few more games. But those first 2 years, I think the word is, look, let's give the guy a 4th year. If he's what we think he is, then we'll be glad we did. And I think that's where they are. So I'm glad he's back. He's got to hire a defensive coordinator. He's interviewed a bunch of folks. He hasn't decided on that yet. He fired his former guy, Bob Babbage, who's real close to him, by the way. It was his mentor of sorts. So they made a change there, just like they did on the offensive side last year, and it made a big difference. So we'll see if the defensive side does as well. Here's the bottom line. They're very good offensively. I think Bortles is headed to being one of the really good young quarterbacks in the league. Buddy, he threw 35 touchdown passes. That was second only to Tom Brady. Tom Brady. I mean, you're second to Tom Brady in touchdown passes. Allen Robinson tied for the lead in touchdown catches. Blake threw for over 4,000 yards. It was an enormously successful year statistically, but they still only won 5 games. Number one, because Blake made some catastrophic mistakes, a bunch of pick sixes. When he was good, he was very good. He's kind of a young Nolan Ryan. The young Nolan Ryan was good. He struck out 15. When he was bad, he was gone in the 3rd inning because he walked 8 guys, right? So that's kind of what Blake has been. But he's got a great upside. The reason they only won 5 games, buddy, is because their defense was atrocious. It was an awful defense. They were bad at every spot. So free agency and the draft will really be about making this defense better. That's what they've got to do.
Hopefully, AFC South will see a little stronger sign from the Jaguars next year. And, of course, fans around the area in the South follow that. Speaking of teams in the South, a team you don't get to see that much because they're not in your league, but a team that's got people excited and a player is Carolina and their quarterback. I mean, the remarkable things they've been able to accomplish. Who knew this team was going to be doing what they did? And what a performance last week in the first half. Frank, I don't know about you, but I agree with Terry Bradshaw when he said, turn off the TV set. This thing is over 31-0 at halftime. Seattle's toast. But, boy, did Seattle come back on them, and Carolina able to hold them off. Your thoughts about, first of all, have you seen a quarterback better at this age than Cam Newton? And secondly, is Carolina going to be able to sustain this throughout the postseason?
Well, you know, it's funny. 2 things. Number one, we saw them. The Jaguars opened with the Panthers this year. Yeah. So opening day, we saw them. And, you know, the Jaguars hung with them. It was 23-9 was the final, but I think the Panthers got an by the way late in that game. It was a pretty good game. I'm not sure the Panthers knew who they were then. Remember, last year they had a losing record, snuck into the playoffs, did win a playoff game. But I don't think they realized how good this team was. Cam made some throws in that game, so you could see a little bit of it even then. Look, he is a special player, but he's the new wave guy, buddy. He's not Manning and Brady, where he's going to complete 70% of his passes and half of a check down. He's going to throw the ball down the field. He's not going to have as high a completion percentage as Manning and Brady and Breeze and Rodgers. He's a different cat. He's going to run some. He's going to take chances down the field. But boy, is he fun, right? I mean, he is as much fun to watch as any quarterback in the league because of all those reasons. Can they sustain it? Gosh, I don't know about you, but I doubted them half the year. They'll crumble. I picked Seattle to beat them. I picked this team to beat them. Now I'm starting to think they can. I certainly have them going to the Super Bowl, and I think I know you're a Denver guy. I know it's near and dear to your heart, but I think the Patriots are going to lay it to the Broncos, even in Mile High City. So, I think it's going to be Carolina and the Patriots, and we'll see what happens.
Fascinating matchups, which we have time. We'll get to a couple of them. Let's get back to Cam Newton for a second. There's Cam Newton 3.0 and Cam Newton 1.0. The Cam Newton we knew at Florida 1.0 was not a real likable person because of his conduct and the things he got into. Perhaps he went through a bad time and has rehabilitated himself, and we hope that's the case. On the other hand, he is extremely popular and he's winning, but his antics have ticked off a lot of people. I don't know how you feel on this, but I'm trying to change my mind about Cam Newton because I didn't like what he did at Florida. Certainly at Auburn, he redeemed some of himself, and now he's to the point where nobody's playing the game in the quarterback position better than this guy. And I read this the other day. I did not know this. My friend John Hayes from Paul Feinbaum's show said this. He said, has any quarterback ever won the Heisman, National Championship, NFL MVP, and Super Bowl? Cam Newton could be the first. That would be amazing.
He would be the first. Only three players before him have ever won the Heisman, a college national championship, and a Super Bowl. 3 guys have ever done it. It was Tony Dorsett, Marcus Allen, and Charles Woodson. That's it. And none of them were quarterbacks. So he'd be the first quarterback to do all that. So you're right. You know what, buddy, as far as the antics go, look, all the guys that and this is my opinion, of all the guys that celebrate and hit their chest and do their antics after they score or after they make a big play or after they make a sack, I think some guys are trying to show up the opponent and are jerks. And I think some guys just like to sell.
No, push it up.
Not turned off by it. I think it's fun. I think young people who the league are trying to attract like it. I don't think he gets in defensive players' faces. I think he celebrates with his teammates or on his sideline or in the end zone. I don't think he's a taunter. I think he's a celebrator. I think, in my mind, buddy, there's a difference. So I'm okay with Cam. I kind of like him. As for the Florida days, look, he grew up. And I don't know what kind of kid he is. I don't know him. I don't know his family. Obviously, he stole the computer and threw it down the thing, and that's why he got kicked out of Florida. And there was a lot of talk about his recruitment when he finally landed at Auburn. Mississippi State was involved. I read all the stories. My guess is he's a young guy, was kind of entitled because he was so good, and probably his.
All right, that's Frank Frangie. We'll hear the rest of that interview on Southern Pigskin tonight, which is on the program at 5 o'clock Thursday and Friday. Guys, you tuned up, ready to talk a little about Alabama and the coach. And there's a terrific piece on GoodIronNow.com about by Tony Barnhart about this. So are we looking at a modern-day dynasty back in the days of USC? Look, I knew they'd get a smile out of it.
I just perked up, buddy.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Or I could say Georgia Southern.
But Alabama looks like a program on the rise right now.
Yeah, I'd say.
Played for the national championship 8 years, won 4 years.
See, I always like how Tom elevates on the same level as Alabama.
Within 9 years of starting the program. Just saying.
And it's real close between Eric Russell and Nick Saban, who's the greatest coach of all time. So there you go.
No, it's not real close. Eric Russell's much better coach.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was overestimating Nick.
Kidding me?
Lob that up for him, buddy.
There you go.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
All right, you guys ready to do a little roundtable discussion here? We'll get set for this, and we'll come back and we'll talk about that, and we'll catch up on a few other details. We got some interesting football games this weekend on the pro side, and I tell you, it's both of them are 3-point games.
They are.
We like the favorite. We like the underdog, and it's going to be classic matchups, especially when you're talking about Manning versus Brady. That just has a ring to it, doesn't it? So to speak, ring to it.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned. Coming up next right here on Buddy Sports Page, Tom James in the house. Tom Schmidt's still here in the house. I'm Buddy Martin. We got lots to talk about here today, folks, so stay tuned. Don't go away. Right here on Buddy's Sports Page.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Located in Ocala, Rinstar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. Rinstar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call Rinstar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today. Please call Rinstar at 352-629-5800.
It down. Shares in ExxonMobil falling 4%. Chevron shares down 3%. Oil closing at $26.55 a barrel. President Obama addressing auto workers in Detroit.
I am very proud of what I've done as president. But the only job that's more important to me is the job of father.
On the water crisis in Flint, Michigan.
I know that if I was a parent up there, I would be beside myself that my kid's health could be at risk.
The president refused to declare Flint a federal disaster area. Michigan's governor wants him to reconsider. Fox News, we report, you decide.
There are times being a genius would really come in handy.
Karen, final question. You'll either walk out of here with $1 million or nothing. In what year did the Hicksonian astrophysical capital city fourth president invented? You have 5 seconds.
But thankfully, you don't need to be a genius to do your own taxes, because TurboTax helps turn complicated questions into simple ones that you can answer. Intuit TurboTax. Taxes done smarter.
Tammy's blood boiled.
It's ridiculous.
How dare they not let her on the cheer squad?
Who wants to cheer?
She could totally cheer as good as those other girls, especially Mara. Well, Tammy would get her revenge. She found Mara's car and her brand new cheer uniform was hanging right in the window. She reached in and stole it. Then, the theft was covered, thanks to a farmer's agent. Cheer burglar, January 19th, 2014. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Need a mailbox rental but need more information? Remember Personal Service Center, 789-6683. How does $10 a month sound with just a 3-month commitment? Remember Personal Service Center, 789-6683. Mention WOCA and the setup fee is waived. Personal Service Center will email or text notifications to you when your packages arrive. Even scan mail so you never actually have to pick it up. Now that's service. Personal Service Center, 789-6683. Located on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, Ocala. Look for the yellow signs.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Hank Whittier will be in the studio with Dr. Mark Knapp. It's a special 1-hour Vets Helping Vets Veterans News right here on WOCA.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Frederick Vitesse will be on with us. He's written a book called The Essential Retirement Guide, A Contrarian's Perspective.
Tim Dorsey is a New York Times best-selling author. His new novel is Coconut Cowboy.
And then Lieutenant Ryan Robbins will be coming in. He's the Public Information Officer for the Marion County Sheriff's Office. He is the guest of our friend Brittany Marthaler from Ocala Health. He's coming in to talk to us about Ocala Health's Safe Driving Experience. It's a free injury prevention event for drivers of cars, trucks, motorcycles, bicycles, and even golf carts. All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking, will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Back at the sports page, we still got some lingering effects of the national championship, obviously. So we've gathered here at the Knights of the Round Table to discuss the topic. Tom James, Tom Schmitz, and Buddy Martin. And this is going to be the conversation that's going to be taking place from now until the time they tee it up this fall. Is Alabama a dynasty? And is Nick Saban the greatest coach ever? Now, those are obviously broad statements for purposes of discussion. I think we're going to go in this direction. But as we said yesterday, how do you compare people from different eras? And like I said before, Sinatra and Presley. Who was better? Well, they're two different types of guys, different eras. But Bear Bryant, Nick Saban, and Alabama is one of the great college football teams of all time. Who wants to start first in that discussion today?
I'll go first because when you talk about dynasties and greatest ever, is Alabama a dynasty? Yes. You win 4 national championships in 7 years, that's dynasty. There's nothing that can be said of that. That's along the lines of the Pittsburgh Steelers winning 4 in 6 years in the Super Bowl, San Francisco 49ers in the Joe Montana and Steve Young years. That's a dynasty. Nick Saban, the greatest coach ever? A lot of people want to say, well, no, because Bear Bryant's a little better. I got another name for you. How about a man that coached a team to 48 straight wins? He won 8 major bowl games, the Sugar Bowl 3 times, the Orange Bowl 8 times, and his winning percentage as a head football coach was 826. Yeah. Bud Wilkinson.
Oklahoma.
You want to talk about greatest ever, doesn't he have to enter into that argument?
Absolutely. No question about it.
I wouldn't agree with that because I base it on national championships. I'm talking about a bunch of great coaches. Yeah. You got to make a decision who was the greatest ever. I'm not prepared to go there at this point in time, and you can bring a lot of people into play. But right now, the discussion is 5 national championships versus 6. That's where we're going with this. And now, based on what we've seen from Nick Saban, never mind what he's going to do, Tom James, you have to take a position on these two. Bud Wilkinson is not an option here.
Well, 4 national championships in 7 years at Alabama. Add the 5th national title back in 2003, the split title at LSU. You know, if you're a Bama guy, you love Nick Saban because it's all about winning. If you're not, If you're not a Bama guy, he's a porcupine. He's Darth Vader. But what is there to deny about what Nick Saban has done? And I think there is also the question of degree of difficulty. You have to win more games in this day and age than you ever used to have to win. Not only national title games, but you have to win playoff games now, conference title games to even get into it. Recruiting is more fierce. There's a deeper talent pool, okay, than there ever used to be. So 4 national titles in this era in 7 years makes you, if not yet, the greatest coach ever, certainly within the top 2 or 3.
Well, here's the deal. You might argue that Bear Bryant set the path. He innovated a lot of things, and Nick Saban and other coaches benefited from that. So you can talk about those two things, the pioneer aspect of Bryant. Certainly, Saban, he's going to be the first $10 million coach in college football. That's what's happened to him. You have to ask the question, and we've got about 20 seconds apiece. What he has to guard against is what got Urban Meyer, other coaches have run into, is that what goes up must come down, and when it starts coming down, how is he going to handle that? Tom Schmitz, this is the endurance part of this thing is very key. To this point, yes, but now what's ahead of Nick Saban, a lot of questions still to be answered.
I think that Nick Saban might buck the trend, and what goes up stays up until he decides to retire because he's not a spring chicken. He's got 5-6 more years maybe. Alabama could stay on top for the next 5 or 6 years. He could go out on top, and it would never have to come down.
He's got his system in place. I mean, he is in cruise control right now, and he's not going anywhere. He's going to be at Alabama. So, yeah, there are more national titles to come at Alabama for Nick Saban.
Here they are, Bear Bryant, 6 national championships, Nick Saban 5, John McKay 4, Frank Leahy, who never got mentioned, 4, and there you go. That's just to start with. The difference is Bryant has his 6. Do we think Saban will get his? Probably, but you know what? It's like major championships in Tiger Woods. They said he'd break Jack Nicklaus's record, and he hasn't done it yet. All right, Tom Schmitz and Tom James, good discussion. We'll see how it turns out. I hope we'll all be around to find out. And there are many other good coaches there. There's no question. And, we may be talking about somebody or not talking about somebody who is going to be that guy who wins 8 national championships. I don't see him right now. I don't see people sustaining that anymore. You're not going to see somebody anymore at schools 8, 10, 12 years. Because what do we see this year? 13 or 14 coaches turned over, 5 Power 5 conference coaches change. And Hunter, this true, is that we're now in a tumultuous stage because the amount of money's involved here.
Oh, without a doubt. If you look at the top 50 highest paid assistant coaches, even now, they're all in the SEC. I saw a tweet from Danny Cannell the other day that said that that's why he believes Alabama, for example, is doing as good as they are, and why Nick Saban can keep this going is because of the assistant coach and the money that's in the SEC.
Hunter brings up a good point, and one that doesn't get talked about very often. The turnover in coaches, like you've said, there was 20-plus spots that changed hands because of the domino effect. Nick Saban lost Kirby Smart. He's been able to keep that staff together for the most part, year after year. Yeah, he's lost 1 or 2 here and there, but for the most part, he's been able to keep that staff together. That trend may start to change, and that may be, buddy, something that brings the mighty down.
Well, here's the thing. Urban Meyer on this program said last week that was a factor, and we know at Florida what happened to him.
It did.
He started losing guys after 2008, and look what happened. And he lost Tom Herman at Ohio State, and look what happened to the offense. So there's that factor, TJ, is that attrition and those head coaches become successful, their assistants become successful, and they get jobs elsewhere.
Well, no question about it. And you start to develop a family tree, and the most sought-after assistant coaches are the ones that coach for the teams that are on top. Well, and Alabama is on top, but hey, how about Nick Saban? He's even made Lane Kiffin look good.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Lucky for Nick Saban, he coaches defense pretty good, and nobody wants to hire Lane Kiffin, so he's going to be there a while.
Here's another way of looking at it. Not even Nick Saban can get him a head job.
Not even Nick Saban. He didn't even interview for a job.
Yeah, so, but I think
UCLA offered him a job, by the way.
Who did?
Yes, that's
UCLA.
True. Well, not a head coach. Not as a head coach.
The coordinator job.
Coordinator job, yeah. And I think Kiffin will get a head job somewhere. There's no question about it. But you know what?
He's got a head case going on already.
I think he's smart and staying right where he is.
Yeah, he's growing into himself at this point.
Yeah.
And by the time he gets back around to being a head coach, he will have grown up, he will have matured, and he will have watched the best do it.
And then Pat Hayden will hire him.
He may not be there by that time, but
be
we'll
around.
see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Throw him off the bus.
Well, I mean, the coaching situation is going to be extremely interesting in the coming years because I think Tom Herman is the hottest guy out there. The fact he stayed at
Texas,
Houston is and he got threw a lot of money at him. But I'm telling you, the big boys are going to come.
You're right.
Going to come calling, and this guy is going to be the hottest guy in the land.
And there could be 2 jobs in that particular state that could come open at the
both
end of
at
this
the same
coming
year.
season.
Buddy, talking about just big moments in sports and all, how about this weekend? You got Peyton Manning, who is I heard someone last night say in his career he's been the chosen one. And then you got Tom Brady, who everybody says had to work for everything he got the whole time. It's the yin versus yang kind of thing, the good guy versus the bad guy. Peyton Manning always is the good guy. Tom Brady, well, he cheated with the Spygate. Well, he cheated with Deflategate. It's that one-on-one contest. Everybody's looking forward to this football game. Nobody remembers they don't play against each other. They play against the opposing defense.
But it's great to see them both in the game. Yeah. And it's head-to-head no matter how you slice it. One of the great thrills I had ever was watching Joe Namath and Johnny Unitas in Baltimore go head-to-head and throw them for over 650 yards, which is a lot of yards then, the 2 greats. This is what you want to see, the greats. You match them up even though they don't play each other, Tom James. You still have to say, hey, this is versus 1 versus 2. We didn't even mention the other game. We hadn't mentioned Cam Newton. And, by the way, who plays quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals?
The oh-by-the-way game.
USC guy?
Yeah, Carson Palmer.
Yeah, there you go.
3 number one overall draft picks starting at quarterback in the conference finals.
True, and 2 former Heisman Trophy winners going at it in the Cardinals-Panthers game.
Right. If we had to pick one quarterback, I know what you're all going to say.
Carson Palmer, of course.
Well, yeah. Let's put it this way. One quarterback you think has the least chance of winning it and the one who has the best chance of winning it.
Okay.
Give us, on this weekend, those 2 games, who would you say?
Peyton Manning has the least chance.
Carson Palmer has the least chance.
Peyton Manning has the least chance.
I go with Carson Palmer having the least chance.
Well, here's the one reason I'll tell you I don't agree with that. Take the quarterbacks and coaches off all 4 teams. Mm-hmm. Who's the most well-rounded team out there? The Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that New England team. All the parts. Tom Brady had to interchange. He lost his whole team at some point, offensive linemen, receivers, whatever, and yet he still gets it done if they put you and me at wide receiver.
Well, I'm just saying, everybody's saying Cam Newton in Carolina, Carolina. That's a pretty good team in the desert.
It is, and I think that Carson Palmer still makes mistakes, as we saw last weekend. It almost cost him. So, and by the way, Bruce Arians, terrible clock management.
Well,
terrible clock
clock management.
That's right. We'll take a break. Come back. We've got time for talk a little hoop. Hunter, your Gator team won basketball last night. TJ's doing a little hoop these days, and by the way, TJ doing international soccer on ESPN 300. How about that?
Hey,
soccer.
By the way, who was closest last night? When we get back, let's see who was closest to the point total of who was the Gator player we all took a point total on last night?
Javon
Allen. Not me, I can tell you that. All right, we'll take a break, come back, more coming your way. Finish up Buddy Sports Page right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local.
On The Source.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue. Located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park, our award-winning newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
From beautiful townhomes to equestrian estates, Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club provides the perfect haven of elegance for any homeowner. Not to mention our championship golf course, award-winning tennis program, state-of-the-art spa, and new luxury equestrian suite. We offer an array of membership options to suit a variety of lifestyles. Call 352-369-6969 today for more information about our latest real estate offerings.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source. Located in Ocala, Rinstar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. Rinstar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call Rinstar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today. Please call Rinstar at 352-629-5800. Different kind of pigskin. Basketballs are made out of pigskin too. And you guys like to talk a lot of hoop. Luke's here with us now. You don't really need the headset, Luke, but we got a couple minutes. Gators last night pulled one off, and Tom, we had an over/under on our Kevon Allen.
I had 20 points.
Yeah.
Hunter, what'd you have? 22.
22.
Luke, what'd you take yesterday?
26.
Buddy took 28.
Yeah, and so let me just guess who might have won this. Oh, Tom. He's the one that brought it up.
Just say.
He has to get in some when he can because he's not been in his picks.
By the way, if I'm winning at basketball,
it's bad.
Prognostications,
something's
bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, this season is crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, Oklahoma lasted about 10 minutes at number one. There's a new number one every 5 minutes. And you, Tom, you cover FGCU games. You do stuff for ESPN 300. Luke does, big fan of the NBA. Tom not. Me
Carolina.
Not. Hunter likes a little hoop. This crazy basketball season.
We've had more number one teams lose already by this point in the college basketball season this year since a year back in the 40s. I believe. And I can't remember if it's 1948 or whatever it is.
By the way, I was not covering sports then.
You sure? Yeah. Okay.
By the way, a team that might have went to number one or anything last night. Did you see the Oklahoma State game?
The Kansas game, yeah.
Stormed the court.
They blew Kansas out of the building.
Here's the thing. I mean, we saw Oklahoma and Kansas a little over a week ago play one of the greatest regular season college basketball games of all time, a triple overtime game. Those two teams may be the two best teams in college basketball, and yet we've seen them both lose in the last few nights. I think, first of all, there's nothing to worry about if you're a fan of either one of those teams. They're a little weary. They're certainly both wearing a target on their backs, and so both of them will be back. Also, though, Xavier lost last night. We've seen some of the top teams. Georgetown beat Xavier. Duke's lost 3 straight. What the heck's going on there?
Duke's
Coach K didn't shake hands coming off the court.
I know it.
How about that?
What is Duke? They're ranked, 22nd in the country?
Lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's Duke. Who cares?
We know you don't like Duke.
Let's talk about the good team on Tobacco Road.
Yeah, right.
That may be the best team.
Well, let me guess. Is it Wake Forest?
No, that's
not NC State, right?
That's not on Tobacco Road.
Yeah.
Hey, the Nicholson family thinks highly of that team on Tobacco Road.
Yes, they do. And I know you do too. So let's see what happens in the end. You're still believing Carolina's going to win it, even if they're 0-26. You think they're going to win it. So
if Carolina was 0-26 with 3 games to play, they'd still have a shot at the NCAA tournament.
A little bit of NBA talk. I'm having a hard time getting into it. I'll be better once I get to the Coach Championship and the Super Bowl's over, and I can start looking at NBA games and see what's going on in Oklahoma City with Billy's team and what have you. But just real quick, anybody got any thoughts? I know, Luke, you're a Magic team. I'm not going to hold you accountable for it, okay? Not your fault. Got to help those guys out a little bit.
Yeah, they're struggling. They just had Victor Oladipo, who was coming off the bench but still producing a great amount. Went out with a right knee injury, and it's looking like he's day-to-day right now, just waiting for results to come back and things such as that. But Buddy,
don't need the time to watch Magic games anymore because this guy's out. So there you go.
Well,
let's see how you say you play.
Yeah,
hopefully they beat the Sixers tonight. But
there you go. Yeah, you guys get in the NBA yet? We got 10 seconds.
Kobe's out. LeBron's getting blown off the court by Golden State. Who can watch that?
Wait a minute. You just said Kobe, and I didn't
Kobe's
see it.
out.
You just said Kobe.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything from Tom James.
Hey,
because he agreed.
You said Kobe.
Kobe said today he's looking forward to surfing after the season.
Yeah,
he's done. He's done.
Out in Manhattan Beach someplace. He'll be on a surfboard or whatever. So, all right, guys. Good job today. Thanks to everybody here on the team. Good job by Anita, Ayla, Hunter, and of course, Luke is taking the day off. And thanks to Tom James and the producer of this radio show, along with our guests, Kent Gwynn, Bo Briggs, Megan Magamal, and the gang. I'm Buddy Martin for Tom Schmitz. Have a great night, everybody. Hey, Tom, mark this down on your calendar for Super Bowl week. Thanks to our friends at Triangle Sales, it's the Coates Golf Championship.
Buddy, I'm looking forward to being able to get out there and watch some good golf and enjoy my favorite beverage, Mick Ultra.
You got it. Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer. Lower carbs, fewer calories, exceptional taste, brewed for those who go the extra mile. Michelob Ultra, the official